Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Stu. I'm so excited that you're here in the room with me. That makes me ecstatic. So, I'm going to invite you directly to the stage because you know that's how I love to do it. This is awesome. Yay!
Hey, there we are.
I love it. So the idea behind this learning playlist party would be to do exactly like that, just like we do in music, to kind of riff and talk about what are some of the fun, great things around learning. We have gotten either via the conference in terms of some threads and some ideas, and because I'm not going to say but, we learned that this morning.
Right.
And to say, okay, let's uncover what are some of the great learning resources or things that excite and invigorate us, that we can get it all together in a little bit of a party. So
there's been so much.
I know. It's like we need that emoji of like brain prone.
It's like
steaming heads. We'll go from the talking heads to the steaming heads.
Yeah. So one, it was a tough follow for everyone this morning, going after players learning.
That is true.
Start off that day with that just huge, like fun laughter and everything like that, and then keep following that up. That's a tough follow. But I did make a note of all of those little games that we played, improv games.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to kind of plan to pull those out for, like, I've got, I don't know, several ways I want to pull those out. I want to pull those out in kind of my team. I don't know what to call them. They're not meetings. They're just like, chats and stuff. Because I'm 100% virtual. What I do. So
okay, very cool.
Kind of doing those over Teams and stuff like that. Pulling them out for kind of class times and stuff like that. And especially I'm thinking like delivering content, and I have to deliver some quite long I definitely absolutely refuse to go over like 4 hours on a Zoom.
I completely agree.
No, we're not.
So when you see the eyes glass over.
Well, they're here for 8 hours. That's true. I don't need them for that long.
Absolutely, yeah.
But when that kind of lull comes along, those are good little things to throw in there as well.
I totally agree. And so I think that's something where I think we can learn so much from improv, because it is that really, truly that aspect of play. And everyone's feeling the same amount of stress in terms of anticipatory anxiety of what's coming in, which then also builds the camaraderie and that ability to pay attention.
Yeah. It's a very lightweight way of saying like shared trauma, right?
Exactly. my positive anticipatory anxiety. Stu just translated that into real terms.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, and to your point, on Monday, on Tuesday when we started on day one, they also did, actually I did this one on tell the story behind your name. Yeah. So what's the story behind your name?
So my name, from what I'm told, I mean, I'm sure I was there, but I don't remember this, was given to me by my older sister.
Okay.
Who would have been all of 6 at that point.
Oh, I love it.
So I was officially named by a 6-year-old.
That is awesome. I love it.
My full first name is Stuart.
Okay, yeah.
And that derives from the word steward. Warden,
interesting. Okay, yeah.
And my last name, of course, is Ward, which derives from the word steward. So both my first name and my last name are actually the same word.
Well, and then you're going to say that you're a servant leader?
Yep, absolutely. And even worse than that, back when I was home in England for a while, I used to work at Wembley Stadium. as a steward?
Well, I mean, one thing, Stu, that is keeping consistency. I mean, does your sister have like soothsayer abilities that she was able to predict,
No,
those jobs?
no, but I think it did provide a good predictor of my personality. I am definitely the one who kind of goes out and looks after people and stuff like that. I'm big brother, dad of my friend group, whatever you want to call it.
That is awesome. We need these types. Yeah, as a mother hen, I can tell you, yep, absolutely, we are needed. Okay, so Dana, so glad that you are in this room. So what we're doing here, this is the learning playlist, and the idea is we all have different touch points of things that we've experienced, things that we are excited about, things that we've come across in our practice, as well as things that we've experienced over the last 3 days. Sorry. It was over midnight last night, so it officially is 4 days for me, right?
That counts.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we can spin
100%.
it. We're in HR. We can always make everything work. And here just kind of sharing what are some of the great resources that we've come across. So we were just talking about some of the things that Shay was sharing with us. And how improv can be so supportive for really fostering. I said positive anxiety, and then Stu brought that into real world language.
Very lightweight shared trauma.
Exactly. So welcome, Marie, as well. So for me, one learning resource that I came across that I was really excited has Google Play with the Blob Opera. So Google, let me go here, and I will open up Is it? Nope. Why is it when you're always looking for games? Sorry. Sometimes I get messed up with what Google calls things. And for example, they have Google Doodles, but they have the Google Opera. There's also game storming. Have any of you worked with game storming?
Mm-mm.
So let me go Google Blob Opera. Yes, Blob. So arts and culture at Google. Let me share here the screen. So if you haven't come across this, I absolutely love this, not only because my mother's an opera singer, so I like to bug her, but it has all sorts of fun experiments. So let me just put it in to the chat. And what do you think? Oh, Marie, you so got me. All right, so what do you think you would do?
Yeah, make this screen bigger.
So. So this is one of my favorite things to do. And you're saying, virtual things, or, you're in a really bad, boring session, and you can record them, and then you can share them. So that's just something that's one of the experiments that I really like off of Google. But Google has, under their arts and culture, they have so many different options as to different games you can play. You can also play Forbidden Cities. So they have coloring books, virtual crosswords, and then who came first. So if you are liking to have quizzes, so that's something that I can definitely recommend as a free, very accessible to a lot of people resource.
I see Torah Museum with a penguin, and I am 100% in.
See, it's those little things that draw us in. That is awesome. So, what else? Say, what else? Because I think, we all do business balls. That's all kind of old school. But one of the things, my other thing that I wanted to kind of share, there was a game storming website. Here it is. So this is also, they have, the future thing is something that I've been able to use a lot with a lot of my rethinking, reframing groups, to be able to imagine a different future. So, for example, doing one example that I do is it gives you different cards. Like, okay, what's the situation? What's the environment that you're in, and what are you trying to create? So this gives you a lot of different options. There's some different expeditions that they have, but they also have some different guidebooks that are really, really wonderful. So the future thing is one of my favorite games off of this. They also have a virtual LinkedIn profile. So you have to fill out and you have to make connections to one another, but you're doing it on basically like a Jamboard or a poster board. So that's definitely also a resource that I would highly recommend for fostering interaction. So, wonderful. All right. So who else has something to share? Again, this is the learning playlist. Are there any musical playlists, for example, on Spotify or things like that you find that gets really the right mood into the team or the group? Dana, Marie as well?
I've found that when I'm playing musical playlists, you can't go wrong with 80s.
That is true.
It doesn't seem to be even a generational thing. Like even the younger and younger, like 80s seems to be the sweet spot.
Well, because 80s is great. 80s on 8. 80s are great, right? Clearly. That is really funny. You can do pub quizzes with 80s music. Yeah. You can. Does anyone have a Slido? Does anyone have Slido? Is that what they use, or do you use Mentimeter? Because one of the things that I found in Slido, and I'm happy to share it here, is that they have random questions. So that's one thing. Because you were saying that you have a team and looking for different things that you can do together with your team, because you're all fully virtual. One thing that I've found, I don't know if you guys use Slido, is they have all hands templates. They have team templates. So start with an icebreaker. And so I've used these. They have one that is a pub quiz with a random pub quiz, which I completely like. So there's things for celebrating, breaking the ice, checking for understanding, and retrospectives that can be really just kind of a great fun to use with a team. Oh, now will it let me?
Yeah, I love that. I love like all of those little kind of live poll and.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And and I'm sorry, I love 80s music, and I love pub quizzes. So you've heard pub quiz twice in this Career Growth Summit from me. All right.
Well, Dana, that's pretty awesome that you're kind of heading in this direction.
I love it.
It's to give you some perspective. Like I used to work with Tina like way back, and I just noticed her posting on LinkedIn, so I kind of jumped in and jumped into these sessions a bit. 20 years or so into L&D, and I'm still picking up tons and tons of tools and things and games and stuff like that. So there's always plenty more to be picked up and plenty more to learn, and I'm just loving being around, like, 3 days around L&D people. Oh my gosh, yes.
Welcome to the club.
Right?
Oh, that's the other thing. We have, and Marie can as a testimony, for all of our career growth summits, and we have musical playlists. So like for the Welcome Into the Awesome, I think we ended up at the end of the day with like 5 musical playlists. So that's something that we will also be sharing here with our resources. So I'm going to ask you, what is the song that you think of when you think about the great, what was it? The Great Reawakening. I like that a lot better from Brandon. So what's the song that pops into your head when you think of the Great Reawakening? Instead of the Great In Between.
Well, I mean, I can't, obviously, I just can't help but immediately think of Evanescence, right? The Wake Me Up Inside.
Ooh, that's a great one. All right. Oh, yep. It's coming on. All right.
And then since we were just talking 80s music, I can't believe it took me so long to come up with Wham.
Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, or which one?
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Okay, that is awesome. Okay, that was not on the list yet.
Oh, I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
That is a great one.
Hi,
love. We are riffing, so we have been right now. What we're doing is we're thinking of songs. We like the rebrand that Brandon did from the Great In Between or the Great Resignation to now we're calling it the Great Reawakening. So asking the question for what songs are coming onto the playlist, and we have Wake Me Inside as well as I Can See Clearly Now. That is awesome. And we were also sharing things that we're learning and going to bring into our practice. So I shared the Arts in Google as well as the game storming group. Those are things that I love to steal from. And then I was bringing in, because this is me and y'all know me, the pub quiz functionality on Slido that you can ask randomized questions is something that I really like to use. So
pub quiz. I love that.
Yeah. So, so to that question, we've just been kind of putting it out there. Is there some sort of free learning resource or something that you have used or you like to tap into together with your teams?
That's a great question. Are you asking us or the participants? Sorry.
We're asking the folks in the chat as well as you, my dear.
Got it. Okay.
Ooh, VR room. Okay. Okay. Marie, come on to the stage. Let's show us this tool. Yeah. Well, hello, lovely.
Hi, how are you?
We are excellent.
I think I would need to sign in as my daughter, right? Yeah, I just noticed that I was building a VR room, and my daughter stole my computer and she was like going at it, and so I found more of a child-friendly space for her to just kind of like mess around in, because this VR space was like very expensive. So, but she did a great job. And so it was the edu.co spaces. And let me see if I can just do a quick share. There it is. Okay. Can you see my screen?
It is building up. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so this isn't my daughter's space, but these are just other spaces that other kiddos created. And when she first came in, I I told her, I showed her this space because it looked like 5, 6, and 7-year-olds, which is my daughter's age range, was making this dream house. They made this dream house with their teacher, and it was just amazing. And so that kind of gave her ideas. It has different 3D images that can put in, or you can bring it in from a website. But as you can see, this is like just
Whoa,
kids.
that's amazing.
Dialogue as well, which is pretty cool too. And so, she's been creating her own dialogue and her own little spaces. You could take a tour, and please forgive me because I forgot how to move it. She knows how to do all this stuff. She's so good at it. But yeah, you can look down, you can look up. There's all around. I thought I could just oh, there it is. I just hit in, and I can talk to this guy. I can go in there, but I forgot how to move forward. There was a special way you had to move forward.
I love it.
But
That
yeah,
is great. Yeah, it looks like in Second Life. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like Second Life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, there it is. Click to open the doors. Yes, so they're so nice in telling us where to go. But it's not getting us in there.
I
Sorry.
wonder if you could,
There's a special way we had to do it, though.
I wonder if you could record like scenario based
Mm.
interactions, if you're trying to do like soft skills or essential human skills stuff. Record scenes.
Absolutely. Yeah, the one I was doing, I did it for a presentation I had, just because, as a person who's in a class with future superintendents and current superintendents, etc.
Love you.
Everything I do is an advertisement, and so I created
Love it.
a VR, but I made a video of the VR because I knew that they couldn't really. I knew my professor and others wouldn't be able to navigate it, so I didn't want them to feel intimidated, but at the same time know the power of what's possible.
That is wonderful. That is great. Thank you, Marie. That is awesome.
Because I know you guys are like way ahead of things. So if I say something whack, like you guys would be like, "Oh yeah, we were doing that like 50 years ago."
I love you.
50 years. Not saying you're 50 years older.
Okay, Marie, then we'd have to have a different conversation.
So, yeah, thank you for bringing me up to the stage.
So awesome. Well, and
right. Like if I said, "Oh yeah, storyline."
yeah, you guys are funny.
I found storyline.
That is funny.
It's this new cool thing that builds e-learning.
See, but I don't know. It could be. One thing out of the Welcome into the Awesome that I took away that I really was impressed by was 7 taps. And it was the micro learning made easy. So it's free. It's also free. I'm always looking for those things. So this was a really neat way. We were able within 15 minutes really to build it. So I thought that was a really awesome tool. And then, am I still sharing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then there's also this thing called Meebo, which is very similar, Marie, to yours. But it is, what is cool is it's free for 12 people. And you can create this little island in this virtual space. I'm really surprised that it's doing with the bandwidth.
Oh, you're still on the micro learning made easy screen, so maybe that's why you're surprised.
Thank you, love. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let me. I'll hopefully be sharing it because now it has me in. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we'll be doing. So this is the environment where we're going to have a party on October 13th. So this is Nebo Island, and it has all sorts of different places that you can go and really create different environments for different discussions. So this is the Mellow Woods. It is fairly easy to take part, and you can take pictures. You can have presentations go on, but it's really nice for small groups. Again, because the up to 12 people, it's free. And I was mentioning before that I'm a total cheapskate. So yeah. So those
I
are
love that.
those
so
are some
cool.
of my recommendations. Ah, cool.
Awesome.
Well,
I
and I
wanna
think
go
that
there.
Yeah, I know, me too.
exactly. So October 13th, this is our celebration of our wonderful first-time speakers, like Lindsay, like Marie, and we're going to be having a little bit of a party because we were welcoming into the awesome of that brave space of going into the first time speaking. And since we have some playlists, we thought we'd do a little play.
That's fun.
Ah.
I can't
What's
wait.
really cool is that with Meebo, because when you sent me the link, I went in there just by myself, and it was so fun just by myself. I think I went to like a bar. I was like, if we could find a way to get like a virtual
Exactly. We just need the cocktails alongside, like if it would actually serve something.
I think we're a little way away from 3D printing cocktails, and that's probably a good thing, honestly.
Stu, you should be on it.
Yes.
Yes. Virtual popcorn daiquiri.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Ingrid? All right, well, too funny. So we invite you, as there is so much going on in our wonderful space of learning, where we can really foster the learning and creating those contexts for learning. So we encourage each one of us to continue to share. So be it improv and talking about the story behind your name, or here doing VR and your kids teaching you how it works. It's too awesome. And it's so true. It's getting that, what you were talking about before, that others disparity and that barrier of teachers and parents being able to be able and proficient in these different areas. And that certainly applies to us within learning and talent. So very fun, really appreciated it. So continue that share. All right, so now we're gonna rock it, and we are going to rock it to you, and then we're going to go to the closing session for this incredible week, 3 days, that has been the Career Grow Summit. So thank you, everybody. Much love.